It's Mama Sal, and it's Wednesday morning, and it is 17 degrees already. You know, that means it's going to be hot. That would be here in southern British Columbia, which would make it 62 already in northern BC. Oh, what am I talking about? Northern Washington State. So they tell us we're going to have quite a few hot days coming up. Now, hot to us is not the same as hot to you guys, I'm sure, because some of you live in pretty darn hot areas. But it's hot in our scale, not on yours. So our word for the day, I would have to say faith. And the reason I say faith is because I got told almost point blank yesterday not to apply for SAGE. You understand, I've been having this back and forwards email discussion with the Pound. And, you know, first of all, they gave me all the bad points. Trying to put me off that way. And then, by yesterday I got an email that basically said, well, you're welcome to apply. However, we just want to tell you something, that we have a lot of applications for her, and we're giving precedence to those applications where they have terrier experience and dog sports. So in other words, you're not getting her. So I know that'll make a lot of you very sad, because a lot of you wrote to me and said you adored SAGE, as did I. And it struck me that a lot of you will be quite angry about that. Well, this is why I want to talk to you a little bit about faith and perception and all those sort of parts of it. Because although we know I would have given SAGE one heck of a nice home, what if they're right? What if the best for SAGE is a house where they do a lot of dog sports, agility and fly ball and things like that? Maybe around a lot of other dogs. Maybe a place where they already have 3 or 4 dogs. That is a sort of kennels. When I say kennel situation, it's not what I mean, but a pack, a do-it-yourself pack, if you like, of dogs, where SAGE can always have somebody to play with and have a really engaged life. Now, I'm pretty sure that you would all want that for SAGE, if that's the best for her. And you see, I have to have faith that it is. I have to have faith that the decision they have made, whilst gets up my nose royally, is actually best for SAGE. And if I can do that, then I'm not going to be too disappointed. Now, the other thing is, I did not put a whole lot of heart into SAGE. Yes, she was cute, and yes, I wanted to do what I could to get her, but I didn't invest my heart in her. And that's why I'm not struggling about not getting her. I'm sad. Don't get me wrong, I'm sad. I would have liked to have had her. But I'm a great believer that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and that wasn't meant to be. Now, you can say, yeah, but it's not meant to be because of the bozo person who made the decision. Well, that's okay. maybe that person's not a bozo person. Maybe that person is a very smart person in terms of judging dogs and who they'll best be suited for. Now, on the other side, I do know, and I have no doubt about it, that I'm going to hit a problem now at this age, because they're going to see me, and they're going to see me with a little lap dog. Now, you know I'm not a lap dog sort of person. Well, I don't believe I am. Now, the other thing that's really funny, is if ever you want to have a bit of a laugh, which I always do, Google the top 10 most aggressive dogs. That's all you have to type in, top 10 aggressive dogs. And then laugh when you read them, because it really does strike me as very funny. I decided, because of all the information they'd given me about Sage being a bully dog, all right, I decided to actually find out which other dogs are bully dogs, and it was quite funny, because you go, really? I didn't know that. And then you go, oh no, really? That makes sense. So give yourself a bit of a chuckle today, and just Google top 10 most aggressive dogs and shake your head. I'm not going to spoil it for you, because for those of you who are interested, you'll do it, and for those of you who are not interested, you won't. So anyway, very, very interesting. Now, the good news for the day was, the really good news for the day for me, was that I decided to drop Jess a line. Now, Jess was with us in the early days of DearMamaSal, and she took a year off from DearMamaSal to get pregnant and produce a baby and deal with that. And the baby's name is Haven. And so I decided to reach out to her, because I haven't spoken to her for a long time. And for those of you who remember Jess, she had a really big influence on so many people. Jess is incredibly zen-like. I'd have to say that. She's a Montessori teacher, and just so calm and aware. And she and I used to have some incredible moments where something would happen in the broadcast, and it was really funny, because she and I were really on the same page, but I know how I would have worded it, and then I get Jen to word it. I'd get Jess to word it, because she had this wonderful way of saying the most incredible things. And I was so honored to have her wisdom in the room. And so it was my absolute delight to hear from her that she's planning to come back and be part of the DearMamaSal group again. So that was very, very exciting. And as we get close to 250,000 views, which I reckon we will probably do by the end of the month, I wanted to reach out to some of the personalities that we had early on, and just get some of them back, so that we can first of all, just reach out and let them know I haven't forgotten them, but also just because they were so much part of where we started, and we've come a long way since then. And as Chrissy said, when Chrissy came on to the broadcast the other day, there was hardly anybody there that she knew, and so the very core group that started now with us there's still some like Becca and Em and Nana and so forth, and we occasionally see people like Glenn. Oh, we see Oz. So, when you get that core group from the beginning, it's always very pleasing to me because I really have to thank them. Without them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. So, very exciting for me. So, the other thing is I'd never let go of the fact that, once you've been part of Dear Mama Sal, I believe that it does get into your soul in whatever way. And therefore, I always have faith that when people are ready, they'll come back. And maybe it's for a fleeting moment, but they'll come back and we get to enjoy them again. So really, one of the tricks about not being an emotional slave to things, I don't know about you, but I used to be an emotional slave to so many things. You know what I mean? If it didn't go the way I expected it to, I'd be devastated for days or weeks or years even, in the case of men. And what I found out, and I guess that's called emotional intelligence, is that if you don't invest that much energy in it, then when it goes away, it's not as painful. Now, that doesn't mean you don't love things. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It means that you don't live your life around it. Let me rephrase that. That your happiness does not depend on somebody or something else. They may add to your happiness, but they are not the, what do you call it? They are not the reason for your happiness. Now, you can say, oh, but my husband or my wife, is my happiness. Now, I understand that. But it also is very pragmatic for you to look at your life and say, as life is so fleeting, if that person were taken away tomorrow, how well could you survive? And I'm saying that because of that girlfriend of the friend of mine who died. She's devastated because he was her life. And he's gone. And the family, I hate to say this, didn't particularly like her. And so they basically moved her out of her home in a heartbeat. Now, I've got some questions about that, but it's really not my business. But it seemed incredibly cold to me. But it is what it is. Especially for somebody who was already vulnerable. So you look at it and you go, So what you think is your safety and security and your happiness, it can be very fleeting. So look at your life and these things that happen to you. Try and keep a rational mind about how much of your soul you're going to put invested in. In other words, yes, I definitely like my house. I love my house, actually. Like would be not a strong enough word. I love my house. Could I live somewhere else? Yep. Do I want to? No. But could I? Yep. And what's the scariest thing about that? The scariest thing for me about leaving my house would be trying to pack it up. Because I know at least 50% of it would have to be thrown away. And so the smart money, as they say, the smart money says start throwing it away now, because you never know. That would be the smart thing to do. And then the other part of you goes, yes, when do I have time? Right? That's the obvious thing. Well, the time is now. I'm trying to do it more and more. I've got to be quite honest. I am trying to sort of find little areas of my house and just each week work on one little drawer or work on one whatever and start taking everything out and only replacing what I actually use. And it is scary, quite honestly. It is really scary. So, but that's would be the smart thing to do, because then it will never be stress, nor will I leave that for somebody else to have to try and clear up, which would be a terrible thing to do. So, I think part of my weekends during the summer, I am going to start having some incredible moments of what's in this drawer or in this box or in whatever or in this cupboard on this shelf that I don't need, and systematically throw it away. Now, I've seen enough of those shows that, all you need is 2 boxes. Actually, they say 3, but I only have 2 because I know one of them I won't do, which is sort of keep it or chuck it. Now, the 3rd box is donate it. But obviously that works if you've got clothes and toys and things, which I don't. So, I'm going to start doing more of that. And I have to have faith that I can do it. Do I want to? Not particularly, no. But I'm going to pray for the strength, and that takes faith, to be able to concentrate on doing that. So there's your word of the day. Faith. Trust that even though it sounds like it isn't what you wanted to have happen, that it's the right thing. And let it go. Don't keep emotional attachment to something that's gone. I'm a great believer of fighting for what you believe, and I'm a great believer in doing what you can to get what you want. Don't get me wrong, and I did a lot of that with Sage. But I also know that that the wording of what was sent to me in 3 different emails basically said, go away. You're not going to get her. And just to make sure I wasn't imagining that, I, in each case, sent the email to Yvonne and asked for her read. And it's amazing that Yvonne actually got far more upset about it than I did. But she read the same thing in each one of them. So, life's good if you just have faith that it's all going exactly as it's meant to. And I'm praying got caught up in the road work again, right? Boy, those people are going to get really tanned, burnt, lobster-like in the next few days, because we're going to have this very warm weather coming in. I feel sorry for those people who stand out there with slow and go signs, as I call them. Alright everybody, have faith that everything's unfolding as it should. Has anybody... Let's have a reach out day as well. You know, if you know there's somebody that normally we hear from that we haven't, reach out so that we can find out how they're doing, and let me know so that I can update everybody. It's always difficult in the summer because people have other lives, and I totally understand that. But if you're particular friends with somebody that we don't hear of very much, then let me know if you can, so we can update. You know, obviously clear with them that it's okay to update everybody. As you know, I do that first. Alright, so have a wonderful day, and have faith that everything's going as it should. Bye-bye for now. Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I'm just doing a bit of an experiment. I decided I would try something that I had seen online, which was a nice, easy way to have your camera on your dash. And basically what I've got is a piece of non-slip matting, you know, the sort that you put in a cupboard or in a drawer, and then a sponge. I'll take a picture of it just so that you can see. But it's just something that somebody taught me. Now the nice thing about it is that if I want to swing the camera to see where I'm driving, it should be a lot easier to do that. So that was the reason why I tried it. And I'm just doing an experiment here to see whether it actually works, but so far so good. The angle's a bit funny, I think, but we'll see. You can't really tell until you get it out and process it and have a look at it. Okay, so here's the good thing. I thought I'd talk a little bit more about this no point in getting upset about things that you can't change type stuff. I don't think I mentioned it, but we had a horrendous situation at work where our computers went down, and I mean seriously down. And for 2.5 days, we've basically been killing time. I mean, we'd obviously been doing things that we haven't been able to get to that don't require computer work, but if you can imagine, that's a lot of people sitting around doing nothing. Now, you can complain and you can get angry and you can do all sorts of things, but it's not going to make it better any faster. And I think that's one of the things that you sort of learn along the way, that you can get really emotional and really frustrated and really whatever. It doesn't help. All it does is make you look like somebody who's not in control of their emotions. And as you know, we do quite a bit of talking about emotional issues. I'm going to sneeze, I think. I hope not. And we go back to, you know, are your emotions controlling you, or do you control your emotions? And most people who have high degrees of depression or things like that, you know, you're in a state where your emotions control you, and rather than you control them. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have emotions. Of course, we all have emotions. I can assure you. I've had quite a few emotions this week, and I've had some quite interesting things to say privately in the back of my head about people not allowing me to rescue certain dogs. First Gilly and now Sage. And so this is okay.
There's a thing on your back window there. I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Actually, I think it's an advertisement for a horoscope.
It's just an advertisement. I was wondering maybe something you needed.
That's okay. Thank you for thinking of it, though. I didn't know it was there. I can't even see it.
It's just behind the windscreen wiper.
Makes sense. Thank you. Okay, so that was really nice. That was the guy driving by telling me, I don't know if you could hear it, but telling me that I've got a piece of paper stuck on the back of my car, and where it's stuck is against my windshield wiper at the back, and I can't see it from where I'm sitting. But in case it was something important, he wanted to let me know. Now, the only reason I didn't panic about it is because I noticed that everybody where I was parked had these stupid pamphlets from the local horoscope lady in their windshield. And so that's undoubtedly what it is. Alright, I can't even remember where I was now. Yeah, anyway, no point in getting upset, and also really aware of where your emotions control you and you control your emotions. Well, again, I'd love to tell you that I'm perfect at this, but you know me better than that. I'm not. I let people get up my nose all the time. And I look at it and go, but do I do it less than I used to? Yep. And the other thing is, when it happens to me now, I get quite upset with myself. Because it means they got control of my emotions. And I don't know why, that I have a sort of personal vendetta against that now. You know, I don't want people to have control of my emotions anymore. I don't want them to control me, right? I want to control myself. And so be very aware of that. Be aware of how much you allow that to happen. Okay, so that should be enough for us to do the test, and you get a little added bonus of an extra vlog. Bye-bye for now.